In this video, I'll be showing you how to paint Dormammu for Marvel Crisis Protocol. Welcome back to Painting Protocol, Marvel Crisis Protocol painting videos by the Tales of War Games, and in this episode we are painting the leader of the Dark Dimension, and that is Dormammu. Now, Dormammu is a large model, but he is also a rather simple model to do, and you've kind of got three main kind of areas and colours that we're going to be doing. You've got the centre bit and the inside of his cloak, which is all going to be done in a red colour. You've got all of this black armour, all of his arms, his legs, and the back of the cloak here, and this is all going to be done in a black colour. And then all of the flames that we can see all around here, including his head and his hands and on the feet as well, we're going to be doing in a flame colour. So as you can see, I've primed in Halford's khaki. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, you know that this is my kind of go-to primer. You can use Army Painter Skeleton Bone to get a similar colour if you don't have a Halford's near you. But this helps you kind of get the nice light colours as well as get a good base coat for the darker colours. And the first colour we're going to be doing is all of this black armour, because this is the kind of one of the main parts on it. It's a lot easier to do the black and then go back over the red than do the red, then do the black and then get black on parts of the red and then try and tidy that up. So I'm going to be doing all of the black parts first. We're not going to do his face yet because we want to do all of the flames around it, and then we'll do the face after we've done the flames. But the first colour we're going to be using is Vallejo game model colour German Grey. This is a nice kind of off black colour. It's not exactly grey, but it's not exactly black at all. You just want to go around and you want to get a couple of thin coats. You just want to go all the way around, just being careful. I mean, if you, like I say, if you do get into the areas where the red's going to be, it's not that big a deal at this moment. But yeah, you just want to do all of this around here. You want to do all of his arms up here. You want to go all the way down here, including this part here, his legs as well. Again, where the flamed parts are, it's not too big a deal if you get any on there, it's not a problem. You want to do all of these arms, all of these shoulder pieces, and the head parts around here, for the neck parts, all of this back part here, again the arms, and then the outside of the cloak here, and the belt as well. Inside of the cloak, like I said, we are going to do that red, but the main thing we're going to be doing is all of this. Now, like I said, you do want to get a couple of thin coats on it just to get a nice colour, but you can kind of see there already with what that colour looks like. It's a nice kind of mid-tone between a black and a grey. So we'll base coat all of this and then we'll be back for the next step. And now with that German grey done, you can see that we've got this nice off black colour across all of the model. And what I've just done is any areas whereabouts I've kind of messed up a little bit, I've just tidied up with German camo beige, and that's just to make it a bit easier for the next steps. Now, before we do any more highlights on the black, we're going to be doing the red bits, and we're going to be doing these in Wraithbone so we can do these flame effects. It's better to do all the base coats first, because then as we start highlighting, if you go into one of the other colours, you can just tidy it up rather than do all of the black, then have to go in to do the red. So we're going to be doing the red parts next. There's not that much of it. Like I said, you've got this front chest piece, and then the back of the cloak just behind here, and we're going to be using Khorne Red as the base coat for this. So it's nice and easy. You just want to go all the way down here, just a couple of nice even thin coats across, and just fill in all of the gaps. Now as you go down here, you just want to make sure you get the right angles and just get all up there as well. You'll kind of see if there's any khaki showing afterwards. But yeah, you just want to do Khorne Red all the way down here, all on this part, and then like I said, all on the inside here, and on this flap here that's flapped over. So we'll do the Khorne Red, and we'll be back for the next step. And with that Khorne Red done, you can see it's nicely covered everywhere. Now I did make a couple of mistakes onto the black, but all I did was tidy it back up with some German Grey. And then all that we're going to do for the rest of the base coats is we're going to be using the Wraithbone, basically the base colour for contrast. And all of the flames we're just going to go over. And if you've got this kind of khaki colour on it, it should just take one coat to go all the way through it all. But basically you just want to go around and just cover up all of this in Wraithbone. Now obviously as you get down between here, you're going to have to be a bit more careful around the fingers. That's why we're doing it all now rather than after we've done the highlights. So you're going to go all the way down here, you do both of the hands, do all the feet. If you're stuck any on the basing, do it on the bases as well obviously. And then you want to be doing all of the head. He does have this skull with some of the rocks. These will be German grey at some point, but it's better to just do everything in Wraithbone to then be able to do the contrast, because this black can cover it up quite easy. So just want to go around. Like I said, there's not that many. I've just got the arms, the feet, and then the head as well. So we'll do the Wraithbone and then we'll be back for the next step. And with the Wraithbone done, we've done all the base coats. It's nice simple 3 colours for the base coats. And now we're going to do the shades. Now for this we're going to use a couple of contrast paints. For the reds we're going to use Blood Angels Red. And for the black we're going to be using Basilicanum Grey. Now it won't really add too much contrast at all, because we have got quite solid base coats already, but it will add a bit of shading in the recesses, and just across some of the panels it will add just a little bit of a tone and difference on that. So we're going to do Blood Angels Red on this and Basilicanum Grey on that, and then we'll be back for the next steps. And with those contrasts done, you can see it's brought down the shade on the red, but also on this armour it's made it very dark, and it's exactly what we want to then be able to highlight up. But the first thing we're going to be doing is highlighting the red, and for this we want to have Evil Sunz Scarlet as the first highlight. And for this you're kind of covering most of the model. You just want to kind of go in and just do some nice lines all the way down, trying to leave the dark in the recesses. And as you can see, as you go kind of down there, you just want to leave a little bit of a gap up at the top. It just means that you can kind of do a little bit of a shade, have some kind of gradient through each of the panels. So just want to go around, do this all around here, and I want to do this layer, second layer, and then all the way down here. And we'll do that, and then we'll move on to the cape afterwards. And there you go with the Evil Sunz Scarlet Red. We've got that nice little gradient there. Now we are going to go in with another highlight of Wild Rider Red, just on the highest points all along this. But we're going to do that after we've done the cape, because we'll also do some highlights on the cape. So we're going to go with the cape now and do the Evil Sunz Scarlet on that. Now with the cape being on the inside, it is a little bit awkward to get to, but if you just angle it at the right position, you should be able to get your brush in. And what you want to be doing here, because we've put the contrast in on that Khorne Red, you just want to get the highest points of the cape. So you want to be going kind of all the way down here. You want to get all these high ridges and just leaving that Khorne Red in the darkest positions. Now when it comes to flat pieces, you do want to kind of highlight all of this, just bring it all around, and we'll see. So like I said, with the Evil Sunz Scarlet, you just want to do some nice even lines, and again you just want to kind of make it blend down, make sure the paint's nice and thin for your first layer. And again you just want to kind of go all the way in. You can just see there it's kind of just picking up all of that, and we're going to leave it all in this recess in there. So you just want to go around, and like I said, you just want to pick up the highest points. And now for some of this you will have to switch your brush to probably a smaller brush, just to get kind of these highest points around here, making sure you're not getting on that black armour. But you just want to go around with the Evil Sunz Scarlet, picking this all up, and again just do a couple of thin layers. Do the first layer just to kind of pick up exactly where you want it to go. The thinner it is the better, because it can make it a lot easier to then just push it around and pick it all up. And then once you're happy with it, as you can see there, you can kind of see that difference in shade. So go around, do all of that, and then once you've done it, do another layer just to get a nice solid colour, and then we'll be back for the next step. Now with the first layer of Evil Sunz Scarlet, you can see we're starting to kind of get some definition on this cloak, as well as the armour panels. And as I mentioned before, the next step, we're going to be doing exactly the same on both, but this time we're going to be using Wild Rider Red. It's a lot of lighter red, and we're going to just be doing a little bit lower. So for the armour, we just want to get the very lowest part just there, so you've got a nice bit of gradient. You can kind of follow it around, just kind of dab it around. Now you might find that you need to do, again, a couple of layers just to build up the colour. You just want to have a nice gradient going from the dark to the medium to the light. So go all the way around to do the armour on that, and then we'll be back to do the next step, which will be to highlight the last bit of the cloak. And there you go, with the Wild Rider Red done, you can see we've got this nice gradient across all of the armour, and that's the armour piece done. Now for the cloak, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be using Wild Rider Red again, but all that we're going to be doing, we're just going to be going on the very highest part, so basically along the creases of all of the cloak, and then just along the edge as well, the side edge. So again, just take your time, do a couple of thin layers if need to be, and just brace yourself against the model. And what you want to be doing is just going along the line like this, along the crease, just to pick it up, and it will slowly pick up the colour and give it just an extra bit of a highlight and definition on the cloak. Now, like I said, you will need to do a couple of layers on this just to build up the colour. Now, if you're not happy with the highlights and you want to get even more, then you could get some white and add it to the Wild Rider Red, and then that way it would just give it that extra layer and just do it on the highest parts. But you just want to go around, like I said, you just want to pick up the highest points. You can kind of see it on the model, especially if you do it under a light, you can kind of see exactly where it's picking it up. You just want to go along and just build up that highlight. So we'll go around, we'll do all of this. Again, you want to do all the trim as well, along here, all the way here, and underneath here, just on the underneath the trim as well, you want to go round. And then of course you've got this bit here, so you want to be kind of picking up this bit here, coming around here, up here, and then obviously the teeny bits up there across the armour. So we'll highlight all of that up, and then we'll be back for the next step. And with the red all done, you can see cloak is looking great, as well as the armour. Now, next thing we're going to be doing is all of this grey armour. And what we're going to be doing first is using Mechanicus Standard Grey as the first highlight. If you're not too sure where you want to put the highlights, if you have a look on the box art for Dormammu, or if you go onto the Atomic Mass Games website, there is a zoomed in picture, but basically you just want to go around all of these armour panels, just on the highest point. You just want to do some edge highlighting all the way down. Again, you don't want to be that. As you're doing this, you don't need to be that neat and tidy. It's just you just want to add a decent thick highlight across all of these panels, just to kind of bring some of that colour back in, differentiate between the actual armour panel and the edge. And we're going to go back over with other highlights. So you're going to be going all the way around. So any area that you've done in Basilicanum Grey, you want to do all of these. With the kind of headpiece, you want to kind of almost follow this style. You want to just do some nice little lines that go down. For the chest piece, you just want to follow it all the way around and just follow the edges. Like I said, if you have a look on the website or in the box, it will kind of give you an idea of exactly where to put it. You just go all the way around. So highlight all of that. On the cloak, again, exactly like what we did with the red, but you're just basically getting the highest points and just following all of these grooves. You just want to pick it all up. Now, if you do find that you've kind of gone a bit too thick in areas, you can use some of that German grey again and just kind of cover up some of the areas, but you just want it to kind of add a bit of definition to all of these ridges and put it all in like this. So we'll go around, we'll do all of the grey, we'll highlight it all up, and then we'll be back for the next step. And with those highlights done, you can see his armour is starting to take shape along with his cloak. Now, the next thing we'll be doing is another highlight on the grey, and this time we're going to be using Administratum Grey. And for this, you just want a nice, small, detailed brush. You just want to be doing nice thin edge highlight just inside where we've done it. You just want to kind of pick up the kind of corners and the highest points of it. So you just want to go around and just like that, and just see it's going into there and letting the first layer just kind of trail off. You just want to go around, and again you can look on the AMG website to kind of see exactly how it's done on the large image, but you just want to get the very corners just as the angles meet each other. And you just go around. If you do mess it up a little bit, just tidy it up with a little bit of Mechanicus Standard Grey, or if you do make a big mess, then again you can just go in with that German Grey and just tidy it up on the panels itself. So go around. It will take a little bit of time to do, but it will be worth it. It will pick up all the edges. Now for the cape at the back, again you just want to be doing exactly the same, and you kind of want to be doing it on the middle parts, on the highest points of these. You just want to be doing it in there. Again, if you've got little corners here, pick it up on the corner, and then you just want it along here. And again, if you do mess up again, a bit of Mechanicus Standard Grey or German Grey. So do all of that, do all the highlights, and then we'll move on to the fire. So what we're going to do, we're going to use all three of the colours, Iyanden yellow, Gryph-Hound orange, and Blood Angels red. And we're going to do a little bit of a kind of gradient that goes through. Now, I'm only going to do it on one bit on here, but you need to do this on all of the feet, all of the hands, and the face as well. Now when it comes to the face, just do all of it. We are going to pick out his face again afterwards, but it's easier to do the gradient all the way through and then just go back over for the face. Now, like I said, the first layer you want to do is Iyanden yellow, and for this you just want to kind of get it all the way into the almost whole entire area. And this is going to be the kind of brightest part of the fire. If you look at kind of how fires are painted, it's always yellow is down near the source because it's the kind of brightest area. You just want to kind of be careful, just go all the way through and cover it all in the Iyanden yellow. So what I'll do, I'll go all the way around. Now when you go around the hands, just be a little bit careful. If you get a little bit on the fingers, it's not a problem, because you can have some kind of a almost like some source lighting coming from it, but just colour it all in, and you go all the way up, and then we'll be back for the next step. And then once you're happy with that, while it's still wet, you're going to get some Gryph-Hound orange, and this time you're going to go about halfway, about there. You just want to kind of drag it down and go all the way up as well, and just cover all over it. And just if you found some of the yellow is pulled, and you can use that and mix it all in, and you're going to get this nice little gradient that goes between the two. To go around, like I said, you want to go about halfway. You just want to kind of cover it all in. You don't have to be 100% covering everything, because a few flickers of yellow here and there will be fine. So once you've done that, and you're happy with the look, you can see we've kind of got a nice little gradient there, nice little blend between the two. And then while it's still wet, wash out your brush, and this time it's Blood Angels red. And for this part, you're doing exactly the same, but you're literally just doing the top part. Again, you just want to blend down about halfway down the orange, and just go all the way around with this. You'll find by the time that you get to this part, you'll kind of have some nice mix of colours between all three of them, and just tidy it up. So what we'll do, once you've done that part, you can kind of see as you go round, you've got a nice flame effect. So what I do, I'm going to do exactly the same across all of these. Like I said, face, don't worry about if you cover this part as well. We're going to go back over that afterward, but we're going to do all the face, the hands, and all of these feet and the base bit. So we'll get all of this done, and then we'll be back for the next step. And there we go, with the flame effects, Dormammu is almost done. Now the only thing that we have to do, as I mentioned before, we have to do his face, and we're going to be using that German Grey again. And what you need to do, you just want to take a small brush, You just want to be as careful as you can as you do this. You can kind of see his face anyway. Again, if you're having a little bit of a trouble working out what's what, just have a look on the box art or on the AMG site. But you just want to go around, you just want to fill in all of his face in this colour and try and leave some of that flame effect kind of in the eyes and everything. You just want to go around and colour them all in with this colour. So we'll fill all of this in and then we'll be back for the next step. With the German grey done, we're now just going to do some light highlights on his face, starting with Mechanicus standard grey. You just want the highest points just across his nose, on his lips, highest points of the rocks, as well as the rocks themselves, and the top part of his skull as well, like so. You just want to pick out all of the highest ridges of his details. And then once you've done that, just go in with some Administratum Grey. You just want to do it on the very highest points just to add a bit of a highlight. Again, on the rocks. You just want to do little dabs. Just be as careful as you can so you don't get any on any of the flames. You just go around like so. And then with the face done, all that we have to do is do his base and then we'll have a look at the final product. And there's the finished model. If you like that video, please hit the like and subscribe button to help the channel grow. Check out the Tales of Crisis podcast where we chat all things Marvel Crisis Protocol. If you want to see any specific characters painted up for the Painting Protocol series, let me know in the comments below and we'll be sure to cover them in future episodes. But until next time, take care and we'll see you soon.